Hi guys, my name is Mike, and today we'll be talking about nutrition, about our nutrition textbook, chapter 6, which is over proteins. The chapter starts out with talking about amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. There are amino acids contain nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. And there are two types of amino acids: essential amino acids, which cannot be synthesized, and non-essential amino acids, which can be synthesized by a healthy body in sufficient amounts. Next, the book talks about protein synthesis, which there are 5 steps in the process. Step 1 is that DNA contains the information necessary to produce proteins. Step 2 is transcription or copying of a segment of DNA, which results in mRNA. Then step 3, the mRNA leaves the nucleus and goes to a ribosome. Then on to step 4, which is where the amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins, are carried by the ribosome by tRNAs containing the code that matches that on the mRNA. And then the final step, step 5, is in the process of translation, which is where the information contained in the mRNA is used to determine the number, types, and arrangement of amino acids in the protein. Then it goes on to talk about the denaturation of protein, which is the alteration of a protein's three-dimensional structure, usually because of treatment by heat, enzymes, acid or alkaline solutions, or agitation. After chapter 6, after protein synthesis, chapter 6 goes on to talk about proteins and foods. Protein can be found in a number of different foods, mostly in grains, vegetables, fruits, dairy, and meat, such as like red meat. High quality proteins include things such as meat and nuts, while low quality proteins are plant-based proteins. Next, the book goes on to talk about protein digestion and absorption. There are two things that help with digestion of proteins in the body. The first one is pepsin, which is a protein digestion enzyme produced by the stomach. The next one is trypsin, which is a protein digesting enzyme secreted by the pancreas to act in the small intestine. There are also 5 steps in the process of digesting proteins. The first step is partial protein digestion by the enzyme pepsin and stomach acid. Then the second is the pancreas releases enzymes that will further digest polypeptides in the small intestine. Step 3 is the final digestion of peptides into single amino acids, which takes place mostly inside cells of the small intestine. Step 4 is where the amino acids are absorbed into the portal vein and transported to the liver, and then from there they are going back into the general bloodstream. Step 5 is where little dietary protein is present in feces. After protein digestion, the chapter then goes over how to put proteins to work in the body. Protein contributes to structure and function of muscles, maintains fluid balance, contributes to your acid-base balance, forms hormones and enzymes, and contributes to immune function. So it keeps your body from getting sick. It helps your immune system fight off colds, other types of illnesses. It also forms glucose, provides you energy throughout the day, and makes you full longer, so you will throughout the day not eat as much, as eating a lot of protein-based foods will keep you from getting hungry a lot during the day. Next, the book talks about protein needs, which there is a lot of protein needs in the body. The first one is positive protein balance, which includes growth, helps out with pregnancy, helps out with recovery after illness, injury, and things such as athletic training. Next is your protein equilibrium, which is healthy adult meeting nutrient needs, notable protein and calorie needs. The other is negative protein balance, which is not good. You want to have either a protein equilibrium or a positive protein balance. Negative protein balance can lead to inadequate protein intake, inadequate calorie intake, fevers, burns, and infections, as well as protein loss. Next, the book talks about, does eating a high protein diet harm you? The answer to this question is it can if you intake too much protein. Eating too much red meat can lead to colon cancer, which is one of the leading causes of cancer, which leads to death. Next, the book goes over protein malnutrition. Protein malnutrition. There are two diseases that protein malnutrition examples. The first one is kwashiorkor, which characteristics of this are edema, mild to moderate weight loss, maintenance of some muscle and subcutaneous fat, growth impairment, rapid onset, and fatty liver. The next disease of protein malnutrition is marasmus. The characteristics of this involve severe weight loss, wasting of muscle and body fat, severe growth impairment, and develops gradually over time. The book ends with talking about these illnesses and talks about some of the things you can do to help to make sure you're eating enough protein-based foods and to make sure that you do not get these illnesses. Thanks, guys, for watching the video over Chapter 6 synopsis.